Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Krishna rakshatu no jagatraya guruhu. Krishnam namasyamyaham. Krishne namarasyatravo vinihataha. Krishnaya tasmai namaha. Krishna Krishnadeva samuttitam jagadidam. Krishnasya dasosmyaham. Krishne tisthati sarvametadakhilam. Hey Krishna, Samrakshamam. So we are continuing chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita. Today is October 3rd, 2022. We finished up to Sloka 17. We'll start with Sloka 18. I'll share my screen. Listen. Sri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Jai Sri Narayana. Antavanta ime dehaha.
Antavanta ime dehaha.
Nityasyokta saririnaha.
Nityasyokta sharirinaha.
Anasino prameyasya.
Anasino prameyasya.
Tasmad yudhyasva bharata.
Tasmad yudhyasva bharata.
Small correction. So anasino aprameyasya. So if we combine together, anasino aprameyasya. So I'm probably didn't come out that way. So let's chant together. Antavanta ime deha. Nityasyokta sharirinaha. Anashino prameyasya. Tasmad yudhyasva bharata. So, can anyone say, give the context here up to 17, Sloka 17? Does anyone remember?
The Lord Krishna is saying that body is not permanent, soul is permanent, kind of thing. And he's saying, who understands these things, they are a great soul, they're great people.
Okay.
And he's saying that the soul can't be distracted.
Okay.
Yeah, he's trying to explain to Arjuna to convince him to do the war by telling him that.
So, what is the primary? Sorry, go ahead. Someone saying something? What is the primary reason why Arjuna is having the sorrow, depression? Or
because he doesn't want to kill his own people. He could be in front of them. He the guru and all of them. He doesn't want to kill them. And,
right. Why? I mean, why is it?
Kuladosha. He thinks.
He gave multiple reasons why he doesn't want to do it. He thinks he doesn't want to kill his gurus, who he taught everything, his relatives. He doesn't want to enjoy the kingdom, what he's going to get out of killing these people. He feels that begging is much better than even killing them. I don't think we're answering the question what you asked, but that's what I think.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that is all. So basically, he gave all those reasons that he doesn't want to fight because he gave several reasons, right? So all that is coming because of one primary reason.
Thinking he is
That,
doing.
Because
Ragam.
okay.
The bottom right is always on. Front seat is always open.
Okay, so the primary reason is he's confused between body and Atma. He doesn't know who he is. Okay, I mean, he doesn't know who he is, and he doesn't know all these people that he's talking about. He doesn't understand, or at least have no clarity on himself, that is Atma, and Atmas. If he is Atma, of course, all the people that he's seeing also have Atma, and then what's the difference between body and Atma? That he lost that distinction. He's not able to distinguish himself from the body. He's thinking that I am body. These are bodies. So he's not seeing something inside the body. Of course, he was talking about when when these people die, they go to higher worlds, and then, or if you don't do the all these rituals, Vedic rituals for the departed souls, then they will be affected. So he is kind of aware that there are some, when somebody dies, then they go to the higher worlds or other worlds, Pitrulokas. He heard them, but he doesn't have the clarity. I mean, even today, when someone, even if people who don't know Bhagavad Gita knowledge, when someone passes away, when someone dies, they say, oh, he passed away, or may his soul rest in peace, or he's gone. So something has gone out of the body, right? That's why the body is not functioning. So that's something everybody kind of realizes, recognizes that something left the body. That's why this body is dead. But people don't have much clarity. When the person is living, they only see the body. They don't see something inside the body. When we are living, we only see this, I am this body. So, so basically that is the ignorance that is actually causing all the confusion that Arjuna has. So that is the first one. I mean, that's the most basic knowledge that he is missing. He's ignorant about the distinction between body and Atma. He is Atma and not body. So that, sorry, that distinction is missing. So,
Sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
May I say something? Ramana Maharshi used to say when he was leaving, when he was 16 years old or something, he had a samadhi experience after seeing a corpse being, a procession of people taking a dead body. Then he realized he also pretended to be dead. At that point, he had a samadhi. And then he wrote a letter to his brother saying, this body is leaving for the forest. So he was going to the forest. So this body, he said, he didn't say he is going. So so clear. So he knew about this long ago.
Very good, sir. Thank you. Yeah. So basically, when we refer to ourselves, we always have to refer to ourselves as Atma. I am Atma, not body. And when we look at all the bodies that we see in this universe, we need to recognize that they're functioning, the bodies are functioning because of the presence of Atma in each of those bodies. So we typically miss that connection, like that. So Lord Krishna is building that knowledge. So he started with Sloka 12 in chapter 2. That is when the Bhagavad Gita message started. So he distinguished between body and Atma. And so we learned about Atma, Paramatma, and Prakriti, the three tattvas, that three realities or truths. And then so he's building on that. So he's going to talk more about the differences between body and Atma. So
Sir, but until now, right, the discourse has not come to that level yet. I felt that the training of the kings and emperors and armies is mostly through duties, right? So this is your duty. So I think he's gonna get all of that knowledge later on, but the reason why he was so pained was, I don't know if he had forgotten, but I think my question is, did he know until now that about that detail about Atma, or is that going to happen later?
So Arjuna is now being introduced to the concept of Atma, already started from 12, right? So he said, there was no time when you were not there, and there will be no time when you will not be there. So obviously that you he's referring to cannot be the body. So there is something that is inside the body of Arjuna that he is referring to. So he started with that without saying that there is Atma and the Atmas are like this. So it's basically, that is where we need to see ourselves like Atma. I means Atma only. I doesn't mean body. You is Atma. You doesn't mean body. So I mean, we have to, of course, we will be able to see the differences between the body characteristics and Atma characteristics, right? So it's not that we will ignore the body completely. Of course, what we see outside is the body, but there is something inside the body is what we need to realize, recognize, from within us and also in this entire universe. All the bodies that we see, whether they're whether human, animals, birds, or insects, or virus, or moving or not moving, or living, non-living, it doesn't matter. Every body in this universe has Atmas in them. So that is the first, it started with that. If we have that knowledge, then it is from that knowledge of Atma, it becomes easy to say, yes, I have to do the duty. Otherwise, if I'm only seeing myself as body, then if my body is getting the pain, why would I do the duty? I cannot do the duty. I don't have to do the duty if my body is if I see only myself as a body. And if I'm, say, I have to do the duty, and say in case of Arjuna, he has to do the duty and kill his grandfather or his guru, then he will not do that because he's killing the body. And so he's killing whatever he knows as that person. There's no such thing as inside that person. If he doesn't recognize, then he's killing that body, that person. So he will not do that. So why would somebody have to do the duty? What is the benefit of doing the duty? All that will come based on the basic knowledge of, we are Atma, not body, and we have to do the duty, of course, using the body. So what happened, why we need to do the duty and how we need to do the duty, all that will come later. So he's building the case for, that knowledge of what is Atma, the difference between Atma and the body, right? So it is probably not clear, or at least Arjuna forgot about the concept of Atma at this level, at this detailed level. So Lord Krishna is using Arjuna as the means to give the knowledge of Atma to us. So in this particular sloka, so Lord Krishna is saying, Antavantaha ime dehaha nityasya uktaha saririnaha. Okay, so here uktaha is like it is said. It is said. What is being said is ime dehaha antavantaha.
You're not sharing the screen.
Okay, I'm not sharing. I'm not sharing.
Okay.
I'll just speak. So, so antavantaha uktaha. So these are, I mean, it is said that ime dehaha antavantaha. So there, that is, it is said that these bodies are having endings, right? Antavantaha, and they have endings. That means they are perishable. There is a definite start and definite end. Okay. Dehaha. Then he said, Nityasya Saririnaha. What else? Anasinaha Aprameyasya. So all these are sixth vibhakti. Okay, so that is Shashti vibhakti. That is off. So ime dehaha, these bodies, anasinaha, of the indestructible. Nasina means it is destructible, right? So anasinaha is of the indestructible. What is that indestructible? Is this deha belongs to that which is indestructible. So that is what I mean. Here again, we don't use the word atma, but when we say that this deha, this body belongs to that which is indestructible, that is atma. Aprameyasya, again, of the one which is beyond perception. Like so again, so this body belongs to the one which is beyond perception. So atma is beyond perception. Nityasya, of the eternal. Okay. Nityam, nityaha means which is present in the, which is there in the past, which is there now, and which will be there in future. It is eternal, right? So of the eternal. Again, what is that? Eternal is Atma. So this body of the Atma, Saririnaha. Saririnaha is the of the one who is possessing the body. Now, so he's saying that all these anasinaha, prameyasya, nityasya, saririnaha, ime dehaha. Okay. So these bodies of the one who is possessing the body, which is Atma. Okay. Sariri is the word, means the one who is inside the body. So that is the one who is possessing the body, is Atma. Okay, these are antavantaha uktaha. That is, they are said to have endings. So bodies have endings. That means bodies are perishable. Okay, so he's saying, hey Bharata.
But Varaprasad Garu, small. But so far, the Bhagavan has not mentioned the Atma word, right? I mean, he's just saying this, that, or which.
When so if if let us say I say you, I mean looking at you and then I say you, I don't have to say your name, right? Isn't it? So something person, sorry, this house belongs to a person. Okay. Okay, so let's say there's only one person in that house. I don't have to name that person. Okay, house belonging to this person. If I say that, I don't have to name that person. And again, this is we are referring to. I mean, later on it will come, but at this time, Lord Krishna is saying that there is something in this body, which is distinct from the body. Bodies are perishable because they are said to be antavantaha, they are perishable. They have a definite ending, they're going to die. But this body belongs to the one, which is doesn't have destruction, which is we cannot perceive it. It's beyond perception. It is eternal. So it is the see this like a body is destructible, right? So anasinaha is talking about the one that is cannot be destroyed. Compared to it, the body is destroyed. Aprameyasya, one, of the one which, so this body belongs to the one or of the one who, which is beyond perception. That means indirectly saying, of course, the body is, we can perceive it. It is manifested, it is perceivable, but there is something, this body belongs to the one that, or is of the one who is not perceptible. I mean, we cannot perceive it. Then body of the eternal, body of the possessor of the body. So that is, that body is having a definite ending. So he's saying whether I mean, when we say that definite ending means there is no way anybody can stop it, right? So it is not that if Arjuna doesn't fight, these bodies will continue to be there forever. That's what he's trying to say there. So it is, if you're thinking that, oh, I'm going to kill these, so I should not be kill these people, who are who committed crimes, and if I don't kill, if I don't fight, they are not going to be killed. That is incorrect, because anyone who takes birth on this earth, that body cannot continue, will not live forever, and that body belongs to or is of the one who is indestructible, beyond perception, eternal, and the one who is inside the body and giving energy to the body, making the body live. Okay, so that that body is definitely going to die, will never be there forever. Okay, so he's saying tasmat yasva, so therefore fight.
So what I'm understood is, like, because he didn't mention the word Atma so far, he's only giving the characteristics, right? For the first time listeners, now that we already kind of know some Atma thing, otherwise for the first time listeners, even Arjuna, in the place of Arjuna, right? He must be really eagerly want to know what he is going to, where is he leading to, right? I mean, he doesn't know. He's going to explaining word Atma.
Arjuna studied so many things, Vedas and all. He well aware of all this, and most probably he might have forgotten it.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, we don't have to think what would be Arjuna going through at that time, right? I mean, it's like maybe in a few minutes, like Lord Krishna gave the whole knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to him. So within 2 minutes he explained probably the word and all that. So I mean, this is like we are slowly going one sloka, one word at a time. So that is why initially he is giving the characteristics of Atma, trying to say that there is Atma. Okay, you are Atma. You're not body. And these are the ones that you see are the bodies. You are not seeing something inside them, which is the real them, right? So that is what Lord Krishna is trying to differentiate. There is a body, there is Atma. And yeah, go ahead, sir.
Very soon he says, Avyaya, he says. That shows that he is referring to Atma. Avyaya, when he says unmanifested, there is something not manifested. So obviously he says that he doesn't have to use the word Atma necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, immediately is not using that, saying that you are Atma. I mean, it doesn't have to be. But in any case, so we understand. So he is referring to Atma, which is the one which is inside the body, and it has all these characteristics. So bodies can never live forever. Okay. So if you are thinking that, I'm going to destroy the bodies, I am the one going to be responsible for destroying the body, then you are wrong, because bodies cannot live forever. That's what Lord Krishna is saying in this sloka. Okay. We'll say it again. Okay, next sloka. Ya enam vetti hantaram
enam vetti
hantaram
hantaram
yaschainam manyate hatam
yaschaivam manyate hatam
ubhau tau na vijanito
Ubhau
ubhau
tau
na
na
vijanito
vijanito
nayam hanti na hanyate.
nayam hanti na hanyate
Enam
enam vetti hantaram yaschaivam manyate hatam ubhau tau na vijanito nayam hanyate.
Okay. So he's continuing, Lord Krishna is continuing. Ja enam vetti hantaram. Yaha enam vetti hantaram. That is, whoever is thinking this enam. So again, so he talked about in the character deha of the one that is possessing the body, that the body, and of the one who is possessing the body. That now he's talking to he's referring to Atma as enam, this. Okay, so he's continuing the sentence. So like this is imagine it's a flow, right, from the previous sloka to this sloka. So there he referred to bodies of the one having those characteristics. The bodies cannot survive forever or live forever. This whoever is thinking this, that means this Atma, that for our understanding now we'll use enam wherever he refers to Atma. Lord Krishna refers to Atma, we are going to say it out. So this Atma, hantaram, okay, hantaram veti. So hantaram is the destroyer. Okay, whoever is veti is realizing, knowing, thinking. In this context, we can take it as whoever is thinking, that this Atma as the destroyer. Okay. And then he says, Yaha cha enam hatam manyate, manyate hatam. So whoever is thinking about Atma as destroyed, hatam, it is destroyed, right? So there are two, he said, two people. Okay, two kinds of people. Whoever is thinking that Atma is the destroyer, and whoever is thinking Atma is going to be destroyed, or Atma as destroyed. Okay, okay. Tau ubhau na vijanitaha. Tau ubhau, those two, na vijanitaha, do not know. They do not know the reality, truth. Okay. I am na hanti na hanyate. I am is this. So again, this Atma. Na hanti na hanyate. So is neither the slayer. Hanti is the one who is slaying. Is it? So here nahanti is cause of slaying. Okay, nahanyate. It is not also slayed. So if someone is thinking that Atma is the one who is destroying, they don't know the truth. Atma cannot destroy. Okay. If someone is thinking that Atma is destroyed, can be destroyed, okay, then they do not know the truth. Atma cannot be destroyed or slain or killed. Okay. So what? So we talked about body. Arjuna, Lord Krishna said, body can be destroyed. Body cannot live forever. Body can be slayed. But there is something inside the body, okay, and that inside, which is inside the body, cannot cause slaying or cannot cause the killing, and it cannot be killed. Okay.
I have a quick question on there. Which is the word that mentions Atma, or is it just implied that?
Enam is this. I am this. So he's referring to this. This cannot be destroyed. This cannot be the one which can cause the slaying or killing. So now, like Arjuna is thinking that I am killing, right? I am killing, say, Dronacharya. So who is killing there? And who's killing who? Whom? Okay. So this body is not you, Arjuna. So this is there's something inside the body that is you. Okay. So then who? And there's something inside the Dronacharya's body that is the real Dronacharya. Of course, that is the Atma of the body, right? So this Atma cannot kill that Atma, and that Atma can never be killed, is what Krishna is saying.
Sir,
right?
So Atma is not killing and Atma cannot be killed. And clearly the body is just a vehicle. So there is a consciousness, right? Is it right to say that consciousness is the one which is responsible for killing? And then who's
No.
responsible for the consciousness? I mean, isn't
So
Arjun responsible for his own consciousness?
So basically, this will come later in Bhagavad Gita. So it's a very good question. I mean, we typically get a question, right? Like, so I am having, all these characteristics like Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas Gunas are at a very high level. If you don't know, Sattva is like being humble, soft, righteous, all that knowledge, focusing on knowledge. Like we can say it as a person who is soft and right, following all the rules and things like that. Of course, we'll define all that later. Sattva is knowledge oriented, being humble, doing their duties properly. So that is one type of person. There is another type. Rajas is having anger, hatred, greed, So those are Rajasic qualities. And then Tamasic, lazy and sleepiness and ignorance. So these are the qualities. We'll go in deep into, Lord Krishna goes very deep into all these qualities. Now, these qualities are not the qualities of Atma. We have to remember that whatever qualities that we are showing, that I'm feeling angry, right? I'm feeling hatred. I'm feeling lazy. I'm feeling sleepy. These are all. It is not that Atma quality. It is the quality of the body acquired through this nature. These are qualities of nature, and our body is made up of the elements of nature. So our body, when it is living inside this particular nature, it is affected or influenced by the gunas of the nature. So that is what we are showing. So whatever like somebody is trying, really angry and hurt somebody, or somebody is killing or hurting, all these are the ones that the qualities which result in that particular action are not the qualities of Atma. We have to remember that. So that is the distinction. So Atma's qualities, when Lord Krishna goes through in detail in second chapter and in other chapters, never says Atma will have anger, hatred, like that. Okay, so it is not that knowledge. So when you say consciousness, I would like to rephrase it as the knowledge that Atma is possessing. Okay, so that will never by itself try to hurt somebody.
No, sir, okay. I didn't say. I'm trying to understand then where is the decision being taken, right? So it's not the Atma, and it's not the body. So it is the mind. I don't know. Use the word the mind.
So yeah. So let us go through a little bit, and we again will go into detail later. Okay. So when so the body has these senses. So through senses we experience the sensory objects, right? So in the previous slokas, Lord Krishna said, you feel the Sita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, right? Those are the experiences that body gets through the interaction. I mean, when it is interacting with the nature, those are the experiences of the body. Okay, right. So they're not inherent in Atma. Okay, so they are not we cannot attribute that to the Atma. Atma is the one which is experiencing it. Okay, which is going to carry. We'll see when we go to the third chapter. Basically, when let us say we do a particular activity, and one moment. So when we do an activity, that activity is not done properly. We'll define what is proper. Lord Krishna defines that. It generates karmic bondage. Or if you do it properly, it clears karmic bondage. So that karmic bondage, that karmic record, is the one that gets associated with the Atma when it goes from one body to another body, in its life cycle, journey. So, but it is not that the actual feeling, that experience that goes from one body to another body. It the gunas that we acquire in this particular janma, the gunas that we experience and that we get attached to are the ones that give us, they carry with us. They determine what will be our next life, and the karmic bondage that we carry with us is also going to determine what kind of life we are going to have in future. Not the, not anything else, So I don't know if I answered your question.
I have a comment.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
He clearly says it is not born, it is never dies, and it keeps saying, and he means avyaya, that which is unmanifest, which is the body is the manifest, but it's not the body. He's talking about unmanifest, which is avyaya. Very clearly he says that. So he doesn't have to use the word atma or consciousness or anything like that. So it's clearly mentioned there. No need to, doubt it.
So so who is taking the decision? So I'm sorry, just to continue. So who is actually taking the decision is that, so when I talked about the senses, so when the senses, they give the sensory information to our mind, okay? And the mind is the one that is processing, okay? And behind mind is buddhi, okay? So all these are part of the body, okay? So senses, manas, and buddhi. Okay, so again, all these will become clear as we go along. So we carry certain tendencies with us. As I said, like we have the gunas with us. We carry certain tendencies. Those tendencies will, so basically when we experience some temperature, and that some temperature will either, not temperature, let us, when we eat something, typically, so let us say it is, some people will say, oh, it is too spicy. Some people will say, oh, it's not spicy at all, right? So it's the same food, right? So we are carrying certain tendency to, tolerate or like spiciness. It doesn't, like when we eat something, we may not feel it spicy, but for someone, it is going to be really spicy. So there is certain decision that we automatically took, right? It is spicy. We took a decision. So there is a sensory experience, and the mind applies the information that it is received through senses and compare it with the tendencies that we have, the vasanas that we have. Then it takes a decision immediately. Okay, it says, okay, now somebody fed me a very spicy food. Immediately I shout. So I don't like spicy food, and I say, okay, I have to shout now. So the decision is taken, and we react. Okay, so their buddhi didn't come into picture. So immediately the reaction happened. Now, if we are somewhat better, what we'll do is, better human being, especially human beings have that buddhi. So we take that, oh, it is spicy, but buddhi says I should not shout. Okay, so then I will not shout. So buddhi controls the manas. Manas, then again, manas instructs the motor sense, like my hands and my mouth, and so I will not shout. I will not hit somebody immediately. So when so that is the process. This entire process is completely body process only. Okay, so we are experiencing senses. So if, let us say, buddhi is not correct, right? So let us say if somebody is not applying buddhi at all, then it is all animal, completely animal based. So you are pre-programmed. So something, some experience happens, manas will say, do the reaction. Okay, that's it. The basic tendencies, basic reactions are, you have to protect yourself and things like that. So you are feeling hungry, you have to eat. So that's all. There is no any like buddhi at all. Like buddhi is like, I should not be eating, I should not be shouting, that kind of a thing. That we control ourselves, right? What we say, that is what the buddhi is controlling the mind. Mind is controlling the senses. So decisions are all taken at that level. Okay. Now we are building that buddhi. That buddhi we are making it strong with this knowledge. Okay. So now we will so when we feel like, that hatred, anger, rage, and or lazy, I don't want to do this, I want to do this, I want everything for me, that kind of all these reactions that are generating in us. If our buddhi is made strong with this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then that buddhi controls the manas. Of course, it is very difficult. So, but if we are at a stage where the buddhi becomes strong with this knowledge, then we will be controlling our manas, that is mind, and the mind controls the senses. I mean, in second chapter, as we go along, Lord Krishna gives a lot of, this, in detail, like how do we control ourselves and all that. And as we go along in sixth chapter, again, controlling the manas, how do we make our buddhi strong? So that also is informed. So the decision making is there inherently in us. Inherently we are carrying with us because of the gunas that we carry, because of the environment we live in, because of our experiences that we have in this life. It automatically happens, because it is all pre-programmed. And when certain thing that we experience, we take a decision and work on it. But Bhagavad Gita is the one that is giving us buddhi to protect, control the manas, and then manas controls the senses. Go ahead.
So can we summarize like this? So buddhi is the prerana or inspiration, which inspires the body through manas to do these things.
I mean, and it is not inspiring, like it is controlling. So it's like senses are controlled by manas. Manas is controlled by buddhi. Okay. Yeah. So now if manas is weak, okay, mind is weak, then senses take over. Right. If buddhi is weak, manas takes over. Now let us say manas and buddhi both are weak, then senses take over. It is pure animal, like then there's no filter at all. Then manas is little bit controlling, then at least okay, it is better, like it is controlling the senses. But if buddhi is not strong, then we again make mistakes. We will not be going in the right path. So we have to make sure that buddhi controls the manas, manas controls the senses, not the other way. But the thing is, again, Lord Krishna cautions us that these senses are like a crocodile in water. Okay, it becomes because the senses are living in this nature, right? So it is crocodile becomes very powerful when it is in the water, right? So as long as the senses are experiencing those sensory pleasure, sensory experiences, it becomes, those senses are becoming strong. Okay, we need to pull the senses back little bit. So it's like bringing the crocodile out of the water to control it. Otherwise, crocodile can never be controlled. It becomes so powerful. So anyway, so we'll learn all those techniques as we go along. The Atma, we will go through certain characteristics of Atma, which will make it clear that Atma is not something that did not have something before and it can get something later. Atma is not like that. See, it's like, I don't know about Java programming 20 years back, let us say. So I learned Java programming. So I got that knowledge. So that knowledge is acquired. It's not like that for Atma. Atma inherently has all the knowledge. So it is not like something we are learning to make Atma better. Okay. So what we are learning is the buddhi. We are making our buddhi strong. But it is not that Atma is learning. So the buddhi is, so senses, manas and buddhi are part of the body. Atma is not part of the body, is distinct from the body. Okay, sir. Vikasji? Is that okay?
This was helpful, sir. This was helpful. I think it will connect later. I don't think I need to go after, who took the decision. So I think as you explained, it's a combination of things. So as long as we are understanding, right? So I think it's all about, I cannot explain, but I think I'm getting it a little bit.
I mean,
Yeah.
keep that thought in your mind.
Yeah.
It will become clear as we go along. It's not.
No, it was
hard at all.
helpful. Everything you said, I think, is sitting in
I
the
try
right
to give
places.
like 3-4 chapters into just 3 minutes.
I
And I
appreciate
may not have given this message properly also. I mean, it's not like, I remember all the slokas. And
That's
then,
why I was saying everything you said is falling in the right places. It'll probably connect for me later on, but I really
yeah, Lord
appreciate it.
Krishna
Thank you.
explained it very clearly multiple times in multiple places. So we don't have to worry about it at all.
So no,
Like,
what I was like struggling with was that, ultimately, in the human birth, we are still responsible for the actions we take.
yes.
Right. So if I have to take a decision to, do the right thing and kill the army, still have to take the decision. So I cannot say it's okay for you to do it, right? Like, don't think like Atma can never be killed. So you can kill those people. And it's right to say that Atma is not killing, right?
Yeah.
But something beyond Atma in me is making the decision. And I think what I was understanding when you were saying was, you have to have all of that, right? Buddhi has to understand that, knowledge has to come, right? What is right? So all of that combination then allows you to take the decision, right? With the full knowledge of taking the decision. I was just struggling with like, I'm still responsible. If I take an action, I'm still responsible, right? So I took that decision.
Yes.
So I cannot like say, oh, my Atma is fine. I'm not doing it. My Atma is like, I shouldn't be able to do that.
Perfect. So you see, if Arjuna Atma cannot kill, if that is a analogy, right? So Arjuna as Atma, here we are talking about Atma, cannot kill Dronacharya Atma.
Yeah.
Then why is he even asking? Lord Krishna is asking Arjuna to kill, right? So that question comes, and basically we have to do this duty, and we have to understand who is killing who. Okay.
Yes.
So
yes.
So it is not Atma that is the one that is causing the killing. It is the gunas that is causing, and the body is the instrument that is killing, not the Atma. Now, what happens is we get detached. Immediately there's some kind of a detachment. Like you're working for your own home, let us say. I'm just trying to come up with an example. You have attachment. You get attached to, okay, how it should look like and all that. Now you're working for your own home, means you're building it or you're decorating it or something like that. Now you're doing it as a job for some other house. It is not your house, and you have to do it as a job for some other house. Imagine what kind of attachment you will have, the difference, right? One is your own home, you need to decorate it, build it. Other one is you just have to decorate, build another person's house. When someone comments on your house, when you are trying to do it, and then when somebody doesn't let you do it, or somebody says, so you have to change this, you will get immediately frustrated or angry or whatever, right? You feel because you're attached to it now, because it's your house, but when it is not yours, when it is not yours, that you will do the duty. And if you have to do it in a particular way, you'll do it. You'll not have that kind of attachment there, right? So that is a distinction. So when I am thinking that this body is I am this body, okay, so then anything that happens to this body, I will get hurt. I will be experiencing all those immediately, but if this body is like, outside me, right, separate from me, I'm not the body, then something happening to the body will not affect me. Somebody says, hey, you look like this, so what? I'll just move on, right? I'm not the one who is the body. So it is immediately, as soon as we know that I am not the body, then when somebody comments on the body, of course they can only comment on the body, because whoever knows about Atma can never comment on Atma. So when they're commenting on your how you look, I mean, just giving some examples, right? Criticizing you for something that you have done, or anything that will, that is, if you think that it is, I am the one, right? And they're commenting on me, it is going to really hurt us. Okay. And when we separate ourselves from it, and I'm using this body as my duty to do certain things, right? When somebody says something, I don't care. Okay, as long as my duty is not affected, I shouldn't be caring. Okay, so that is where the difference will come. Immediately we'll, so it is not directly there, right? But once we have the knowledge that I am Atma, not body, then whatever happens to the body, immediately we will not feel like it is happening to me. That is the most important thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Like adding to Vikasji's question, right? The way he said he understood, or we all understood, we are not responsible, right? But we are defining that we is not the body, we is the Atma. But Atma is not responsible. So can
No, wait a minute. That is, I mean, so we are responsible for our duties. Okay. We are responsible for the actions that we take. Okay. Because Atma is the one that is going to acquire the karmic bondage or clear the karmic bondage.
Yeah.
I mean, through this body. So it is not like, again, no, not directly related to the slokas, but basically, is it our destiny? Like, is it already written that something is going to happen, and then we just, like, whatever decision we take is immaterial. It's already written, right? Is that the case, or do I have some, I can take some decision and change the course? Like, if it is determined that this is what is going to happen, then I don't have to do anything. I have no responsibility. I have, I'll do something, and then let us say I'm working on a project and the project is a failure. I can just say, hey, that's supposed to happen, right? I'm not responsible for it. So any decision, if we take a decision and work on certain thing, that decision and working is our responsibility, not the result. It will become clear later. So we own, I mean, whatever decisions we are taking, whatever actions we are doing, we own them. We get either clear karmic bondage or acquire more karmic bondage. That's why Arjuna, right? He has to do the duty of fighting in the war and punishing the criminals, right? So he has to take that decision and do it. If he doesn't do it, then he's going to acquire karmic bondage. Okay, he's responsible for it. If let us say he takes a decision to fight, he's responsible for it. He takes a decision not to fight, he's responsible for it. It is not the destiny. Okay, if it is the destiny, then Lord Krishna need not have bothered, right? Because it's already written that Kurukshetra war will happen. So he doesn't have to really convince Arjuna or anybody. So it is not the destiny, it is our decisions, and we are responsible for our decisions.
So can we say that because Atma carries our actions and fruits of action, that we have to be careful or feel responsibility?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't carry the action, but it carries the karmic bondage as a result of the either performing the action or not performing the action. How we perform the action. So this is where the thing is. So let us say I, acquired a lot of money, $1 million. Atma doesn't carry a single penny when it goes from one body to another body. I have 5 houses. It doesn't carry anything. How I acquired the money is what is carried. How it is how, what actions I took and how I did it, not the result. The result will live here only, even after the person passes away. Any result you have, positive, negative result, anything will be in this world only. It cannot go with Atma. But what result, what actions that person took is converted into, if the action is the person's duty, yes, clear the karmic bondage. Action is not person's duty, acquire more karmic bondage. I mean, he did not perform a duty, acquire more karmic bondage. Then second is how he did it. Okay, he did the duty, but he did it as I am doing it. This is for me, and the result belongs to me. That is how. So whether whether it is about money or any other thing, that result that we are talking about, that how we did it is the one that is acquiring or clearing our karmic bondage. So those two will come with us. Yeah, go ahead.
Can we finally say Buddhi is the responsible person? I mean, to Vikasji's question, like, because when we use we, because we means like again Atma, right? We cannot say we are saying we are responsible, but we cannot say Atma is responsible, and we are saying Buddhi is the one who is creating all these things.
So how is Buddhi performing? Who is
Buddhi.
Can I say something? This puts so much pressure, thinking that the Buddhi has to get the right knowledge.
Yeah.
Right. So the right knowledge is like, I was just thinking, right? May God give me strength to get the right, knowledge, to take the right actions, because everything I do, right, if that is doing a plus minus on my bank balance, which is the karmic bondage, right?
Yes.
So there is so much knowledge, so much right things that, I need to keep knowing. And I think that's where not the concern, but I think that's where it is, right? So where do you get that knowledge from, right? How do you
Bhagavad
keep?
Gita.
Yeah.
Simple answer.
Yes. So I was actually, exactly. So yes. So
Yeah,
that was like, I have a smile
what,
on my face that it's, maybe the answer is there, that it is the Bhagavad Gita, right? Keep coming back to it.
That's it.
So it's liberating. Yeah, it's liberating. But again, we just begun. I think you to keep getting all of that knowledge, for all the things that you do, right? Like for the family, right? For society, for, whatever we do, whatever our duty is, what is the right thing to do?
Again, Bhagavad Gita knowledge will drive us, again, with Acharya's blessings, Lord Krishna's blessings. First, we need to get that knowledge. Then we should be able to apply that knowledge. So those are two distinct. We may get first of all, we may not get the knowledge as it is. So we may have still doubts. Okay. So if we don't get the knowledge, we can't even practice. But even after getting the knowledge, a lot of people cannot practice. That is an unfortunate thing. Because, because of, if the car is, it's old car, it doesn't, it has so many problems in the car. Even if you put, super premium oil in it, it doesn't run, right? So it can only do a little. So this particular life, somebody can just, maybe do something. And then that will clear some karmic bondage. And then next life will be better. And then next life will be better. Like that, maybe we are going through, in our previous births, so many lives, and then we are getting better and better at it. That's what Lord Krishna says again. It's not something that we say. So as it takes many births to correct ourselves. Apology.
No, I was going to say, Varaprasad, so basically, the past samskaras is what often drives us. Without the help of gnana, mostly you are spellbound by the past samskaras and vasanas.
Yes, perfectly said.
So that's how the process. So that's why we are very fortunate to get a Acharya Guru. That is the only way that we can actually come out of our past samskaras, right? Past means tendencies. The moment we have a situation, we all have a tendency. Some people start crying, some people start fighting back. And the way to come out of that is only gnana.
Yes, knowledge. Perfect. And so the knowledge strengthens our buddhi, and buddhi becomes strong. It can control manas. Manas can control the senses. So, and then again, then buddhi will say, hey, you need to practice Bhagavad Gita, you need to practice yoga. So that is again driven by the knowledge that we get. Again, as you rightly said, Balaji, it's Acharya's blessings, Lord Krishna's blessings. That I mean, when we go into 18th chapter, by the time we go to 18th chapter, we'll understand that we can only do our duty of, let us say, I want to learn Bhagavad Gita. I can only put the effort. Whether I'm really learning and whether I'm practicing, it's all in his hands. That's the result, right? So I can only, the decision to acquire Bhagavad Gita knowledge is ours.
Yes.
Then rest is his hands. Okay, he may, bless us with right knowledge. I mean, in the sense that we will be able to understand. So if we are able to understand, means it is his blessing, not because I studied Bhagavad Gita myself or I approached somebody. So it is Lord Krishna's blessings, Acharya's blessings that will give us the knowledge. That knowledge strengthens buddhi. That's great. We'll look at one more sloka and hopefully we'll complete that. Sloka 20. Please chant. Na jayate mriyate va kadachit.
Na jayate mriyate va kadachit.
Nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyah.
Nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyah.
Ajo nityasya swatoyam purano.
Ajo nityasya purano.
Nahanyate hanyamane sarire.
Nahanyate hanyamane sharire.
Let's chant it.
Najayate mriyate va kadachit.
Nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyah.
Ajo nityasya
Shashvatoyam
puranaha. Nahanyate hanyamane sharire.
Yeah, we can say Puranaha or Purana, both are fine. Right. So, continuing with talking about Atma here. Okay, that's what Lord Krishna is saying. So, Najayate mriyate va kadachit. Na ayam bhutva bhavita vana bhuyaha. So, I am here again. So, I am this. What is this? This Atma. Kadachit najayate. Atma is So this Atma, kadachit na jayate, is never born. Okay. Not ever born. Okay. So na is not. So it is never born. Then na mriyate. It never dies. It does not die. Right. So Atma is never born, or it's unborn, and it never dies. Then he's saying, I am bhutva bhavita vana bhuyaha. Okay, bhutva. I am is again this Atma. Bhutva, having been in existence. Bhutva, bhavati, bhutva is there. It is existing. Right, Atma is existing, of course. So having been in existence, we'll see what is existence later. Na bhavita vana bhuyaha. Bhuyaha is again na bhavita vana. Okay, so that is will not be in existence again. Na means it cannot be. So he's using two negatives. Lord Krishna is using two negatives. So if you understand it whole, complete, it cannot be that Atma, having been in existence, will not be in existence again in future. Okay, so that means Atma will be existing forever. That is a very short form of saying. So bhutva, so this Atma is manifested in a particular body. Okay, it did not take birth, it manifested. It's existing, right? So this manifestation started when the creation started in this particular kalpa. We are going to go into detail about kalpas and all that in future. So this kalpa started, you can say millions of years ago. We'll have all the calculations later. So when this particular kalpa, this creation that we see now, like not just Earth, whatever you see in this universe is this particular kalpa creation, right? This particular eon or age, in different terminologies. So this is in existence. Okay, whatever you see here, having been here, when it ends, this kalpa is going to end later. When that ending happens, it is not that it will be destroyed. It will continue to exist. This has a deep meaning there. If you try to split it, really understand it properly. So the Atma comes into existence, not taking birth. It comes into existence at the beginning of the kalpa, when it starts taking births in this life and death cycle. Okay, so for millions of years, all the Atmas are going through that cycle. Okay, and then at the end of the kalpa, this entire prakriti, the nature, will be taken back into Paramatma. So when that happens, it is not that Atma is going to die at that time. The Atma will continue to exist even after that. Okay, so that is what Lord Krishna is saying. Then again, the next kalpa starts, and then again, Lord Krishna takes out, Paramatma takes out the Prakriti, and then we'll talk about those in the later chapters. Lord Krishna explained that in later chapters. So again, the creation starts, and again the Atmas will be placed in each of the bodies, and then they will go through in that cycle. So Atma is never born, it does not die, and it exists forever. Okay, and then he's saying Ajaha. So in the third line, right, he's saying Ajaha, Nityaha, Saswataha, Puranaha. So these are all the you know, like he's referring to Atma based on the qualities that Atma has. Okay, so now here Ajaha is I am Ajaha. This Atma has no birth. Okay, Ajaha is having no birth. Nityaha is eternal, that exists forever, past, present, and future. Saswataha, there is a, people try to use this as two synonyms. Nityaha and Saswataha, okay, looks the same, but not. So Nityaha, it exists in the past, present, and future. But Saswata says that it is having the same form always. Like if we are taking our body, for example, our body existed yesterday, today, and say it exists tomorrow. Okay, that is in a short time frame. We can, if you say that, it's Nityaha, right? I mean, in that particular 3-day period, it is existing. Yes, it existed in those 3 days. But is it Saswataha? No, it is not, because its form is changing. So for Atma, it does not change its form. It is constant. Okay, so it remains forever. It is eternal, past, present, and future, and there is no change in its form. Puranaha. So then when somebody may say, oh, its form is not changing, but it is losing its whatever qualities it has, or some knowledge it has, or it is getting old, So Puranaha doesn't mean Puranas that we refer to, right? Puranaha is ever fresh. Okay, so ever fresh is, I mean, of course, the word Puranas also came from that, but not the actual text we are talking about. This is the Atma. So Atma is always ever fresh. It is not like if you see the Atma like a billion years ago and see it today, you can't differentiate. I mean, of course, we can't see, but it's not the same case with bodies, right? I mean, bodies are always keep changing. If we eat in the afternoon, by the time evening, yes, we are existing. Our form is not changing, but we are, feeling weak, hungry, and some things are changing inside our body. So we are not Purana. Atma, we are not Purana means our body, of course. Our body is not Purana. Atma is Purana. That is, it is always ever fresh. Okay. Then Lord Krishna is saying, Na hanyate hanyamane sarire. So sarire hanyamane. So when the body is slain, when the body is killed, na hanyate. This Atma is not slain. It's not killed. Okay. So the Atma is occupying a body. Okay. So that is Sarira. Okay. And Sariri is the Atma. When you refer to Sariri or Dehi, it means Atma. Okay. We'll talk about the differences between Deha and Sarira in a later session. So even when the body is killed, okay. So we learned in the previous sloka that Lord Krishna said bodies, can be destroyed, right? So when that body which is getting destroyed, which is killed, the Atma cannot be killed. It is, it cannot be slain. It does not change its form. It's ever fresh. It remains forever. It exists forever. Okay. It has no birth. So Atma is not the one that is taking birth. The body, when it takes a form, in a particular body, that body is taking birth, not Atma. It is coming into manifestation, existence that we can see, perceive the body, but there is something that is that we cannot perceive is inside that body, that is always remaining the same, no matter what body it takes. It could take the body of an ant, or it could take a body of an elephant, or a human being, or a tree. It doesn't matter. That Atma is always same. Okay, so so this is very initial like set of qualities that we went through so far. There are more qualities that Lord Krishna gives, explaining about Atma. Like this is explaining about ourselves. We are learning about ourselves here. It is not like we are learning about somebody else. We are, there forever. So we are ever fresh. I mean, it's hard to hard to imagine that, because typically we say, oh, okay, I'm so many years old, I'm a man, woman, this color, and I'm rich, poor, I'm living in this country. All this is we are associating all the body characteristics, body positions to our Atma, which is unfortunate. So that is why we are acquiring more and more karmic bondage as we go along. If we differentiate between Atma and body, then we will not be attaching ourselves to anything that body possesses, anything that body does, anything that body has to do. Okay, so we will be not associating with that, and we will be able to practice karma yoga and other things. So if we don't understand the concept of Atma and realize it, then it becomes difficult to practice, the future, the means that we need to get to our goal. So that's why it is very important to get this knowledge and inculcate, totally experience it. So that knowledge makes our buddhi strong, as Balaji Garu mentioned. So then we will be able to practice rest of the practices that are given in Bhagavad Gita. So that's why Lord Krishna is giving this first. He didn't start immediately saying that, oh, you have to do your duty like this, that karma yoga, or you have to start, having bhakti, prapatti, so he didn't go to that. He first started with Atma, because this is the most fundamental foundation that we need to have.
Deham and Shariram are same words or different meaning?
Yeah, the Deha is body that is growing, and Sharira is the body that is waning down. So, like for a say human being, maybe up to 40 years is Deha, and after 40 years is Sharira. But Dehi and Shariri refer to Atma, and because there is no change in form, or it doesn't get old with time. So both Dehi and Shariri are synonyms for Atma. It doesn't, there's no difference. But Deha, if you're talking about Deha, is in true meaning is bodies that are in growing stage, and Sharira is the bodies that are in decaying stage, deteriorating stage.
So it's a standard for everyone. I mean, like 40,
Yeah.
40 is like a decaying state.
No, I mean, just
Still.
when it is growing. So it could be for different people, different age, different animals, it's a different thing. So whenever it is a body is growing, we refer to it as Deha, something that is growing.
Most of the times, 40 is the magic number. People start getting glasses, the metabolism starts coming down. This is just, that's, I would say, from my observation.
Yeah. Interesting concept and very nice discussion. Thank you so much for all the questions.
Thank you.
Interesting and difficult concept, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
It is,
right? Maybe could have said, okay, do your duty. That maybe, I don't know, it would be easier probably. I don't know. I feel that Arjuna, you're not doing your duty. That's your duty, right? You're a king, so go and kill him, right? You should have said that probably.
Yeah, I mean, so then all the arguments will come, right? Like, okay, why should I do the duty? It's harmful for me, harmful for others, painful, harmful or painful for me, painful for others.
But remember,
Or,
when sorry.
Yeah, good, sir, good.
I was going to say, when somebody is in tamas, it's not so easy. Because for that matter, a couple of things I would say, all of us in some form and shape, we know that our true nature is Atma since childhood, in general, Indians. But, it never really occurred to us or came into our experience, right? Same thing, you see now, we have 80 people in the group. So let's, 10 people have attended. Let's give the benefit of doubt. Half of them are busy, 35 of them. So 35 could attend. So those samskaras is what either they bring you here or they pull you back. And it's not so easy that we think, to change them. I mean, we should not really blame or, some sort. We should have empathy for everyone. But it's a very difficult process. It's a very, very slow process. We need a lot of work, satsang, to get there.
Yes. Yeah.
Sir, I will start next session with a question, which I have a question, which is, again, I think it was very good session today. So thank you.
The 40 people will say that Lord has given me so much work that I'm not able to attend these, the Bhagavad Gita classes.
No, I agree. That's why, that's why I said, let's give 50 people, 60 people, let us. I'm sure that 10 people would have the flexibility to attend at the least.
Yeah, that's true.
Balaji, if you remember, right, that day you asked that girl, why can't you practice? She's so busy, 5-year-old girl. You remember that?
Yes.
5-year-old girl, she said, oh, I'm so busy. I don't have time to practice. That's what she said.
But,
yeah, I mean,
we are so blessed.
We have basically, we are taught from very early age that success is all materialistic.
Yeah, the first class.
Yeah. So anything that, like we earn more money, more possessions, and success is when other people recognize, no matter how it comes, right? Other people should recognize, and I need to.
Then it's not really no matter how it comes. No, that's not, that they didn't teach us, right? No, I think they want us to be successful parents, right? And they want us to do the right thing. And it's not that they want us to do some cheating or something like that, right? That's not the intent, right? I mean, yes.
No, I mean, when I say no matter how it comes, at the expense of not knowing about ourselves. See, that's where the difference is, right? So somebody was saying that, okay, if I do my duties properly, then why should I pray? Why should I learn Bhagavad Gita?
I heard it.
So yeah, for them, because of the knowledge that we have, I mean, I was also in the same boat. Even today, it's very difficult to follow every time. But we kind of think, okay, I mean, we don't have to practice what is there in Bhagavad Gita. We just live in the materialistic world with whatever makes us look successful, feel successful in this materialistic world. It could be proper ways. It's not like we are doing illegal or anything, but the thing is, the focus is not on the ourself. So then what happens? Some people may have a thinking that, okay, I can do this later. after I retired, right? So that is another, I mean, again, I really appreciate everyone who joined.
No, we shouldn't.
No, by that time, I think, your span for practicing it has reduced, right?
Exactly.
So
what is
when
the
I
use
look
of
back,
that knowledge?
what you have to do is, obviously you've got your duties towards your kids, take them to their extra classes and stuff like that. But once, they are like, you have the time, from that time you should start, so maybe 40, 45, whatever it is. Yeah.
I was going to say, right, the danger is that you leave everything, like all of your duties, and say, okay, now I want to just only follow dharma, right? But that is part of your duties. That is your dharma.
No. See, one
you
of the
have
things
to.
I want to be very clear, right? See, what we want to demonstrate with this satsang is we can do it while performing our
balance.
duty.
Yes,
Balance
correct.
in life.
Balance, right?
Yep.
And I mean, of course, everybody is at a different stage. We totally appreciate that. But, we're all leading normal lives. We're all working. Nobody has left their jobs.
Yes.
And
But
right?
yeah,
it is possible. I tell you one thing, right? So if we practice, let's say 2 hours of yoga, people say, oh my God, you're practicing 2 hours. How are you able to do it? Nobody would question you if you watch TV for 2 hours.
That's
People
true.
somehow think it's normal. Same thing with satsang, sitting here 2 hours gaining knowledge. Somehow a lot of people think it's difficult because of their, past samskaras. So,
Yeah, we don't. I mean, maybe that they don't see immediate results.
Lack of understanding.
Yeah, there is no, it's not fashion.
Yeah,
like
because
other people recognize. All these are, again, they are losing the time. They could spend in enjoying. All that is because of the lack of knowledge that we are Atma and not body. Again, so it all boils down to the same thing. So as long as we look at ourselves as body, then we want to do everything good for the body. That is natural. So, I mean, to the extent possible, we do it, in a lawful way, in a righteous way. But if the greed increases, all that, then it goes into a different direction, right? So we see some powerful people taking wrong
maybe
paths.
next class, that do you think if you teach a 16-year-old kid Atma, does he because you're teaching that what do they call
Prajna? Yes,
Prajna.
they understand.
Yeah,
6-year-old understands.
They know that it's different.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They understand.
Actually,
wow.
Yes. So actually, the way we address in those classes, I know it's a little bit over time, but we address typically what kind of issues that a student faces, right? I mean, nowadays, stress, depression is very high for even kids, very small teenagers. So peer pressure is very high. They don't know what to do in their life. Because everything is, there are thousands of things that they can do, and they don't know which one to choose.
Doesn't the Indian parent choose for them already?
Yeah, but how many people will listen? so then basically that creates a lot of tension, pressure. And by giving this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we are able to give them the tools and techniques to really understand themselves, what they want in life, how they manage their stress, how to avoid sorrow in life, how to behave in, do their duties for themselves and family and society, and not feel that, oh, they're losing something. This is something great that we need to follow. And what is the benefit of doing this? I mean, if you don't know the benefit, right, then again, oh, why should I do all these things? So we're able to tell them, so typical understanding is, oh, okay, we work without expectations. That is what basic karma yoga. right? Do your duty without expectations. And then the question is, oh, if you don't have expectations, then your performance goes down. Because unless you expect A grade, unless you expect top, then you'll not be able to perform well. But we have seen that after taking Bhagavad Gita classes, their performance actually increased because they don't have that kind of a stress. And we focus more on the duty, more on the work than on the result. So no matter what the result is, you should be able to enjoy. So they're having a better, they're able to manage any failures. Everybody can't be top always, right? So they're able to understand, oh, this result is not just my own effort. There is something else involved. But if we don't really understand the entire Bhagavad Gita, actually it doesn't even come at third chapter. It goes, like when we go into other chapters, then it becomes clear. So we have to teach them a lot of fundamentals that are there in Bhagavad Gita. When they understand, oh, I'm not my effort is just my own effort. It doesn't directly give me the result. And if whatever result I get is Paramatma's blessings, they're able to understand that. That's and why do we call it as Paramatma's blessings is also, again, scientifically, not like somebody's wrote somewhere and then that is how it is taught. It's not like that. It is scientific. So they understand, oh, that's correct. And then we can see scientifically that it makes logical sense that, yes, this is the correct thing. The knowledge is, so whatever I'm getting is, it makes sense. That is what the greatness of the knowledge that Lord Krishna gave to us. And how we interpret that knowledge that is another big problem, right? I mean, interpretations. Some interpretations are simply saying that, okay, people misunderstood and then they play Bhagavad Gita only when somebody dies or where they're in a very old age. So they really didn't understand Bhagavad Gita. So what is that message that we need to give a student, based on the knowledge that is given in Bhagavad Gita? Focus is more on that than compared to, okay, there, of course, in Bhagavad Gita, there is a sloka which says that at the time of your leaving, you have to chant Om, think of me, right? We don't have to give that message to a kid. So what is relevant for a kid? So that if we are able to teach, they are doing much better. They understand it. They do much better in school and college.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks so much.
So Vikasji, do you want to leak the question paper that you're going to ask next so that we'll be prepared?
No. Next week.
You don't want to?
It's late.
That's a surprise.
We will write our analysis.
I have $1 million question too, but I'll leave it because it's already so late. I'll leave it for next time.
Put it in bank.
No, not to
Put it in
answer
bank.
now.
It's $1 million. We'll get some interest.
Yeah.
Oh. No, not because not the answer, not to discuss now.
No, I think the question was related. Maybe it's already asked, but it is late. So
okay.
It's creating so many questions. I think last week I pinged Balaji right after the meeting. I had asked him a question. He asked me to ask on the Tuesday call, so which was good advice. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'll chant the prayer. Kayena vacha manasendriya karomi yajjat sakalam parasmai narayanayati
Srimanarayanaayati samarpayami.
Sarvam Shri Krishna
Arpanastu.
Om
Asmadgurubhyo namaha.
Jai
Jai
Shri
Shri
Narayana.
Jai Shri Narayana, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Jai
all.
Shri Narayana.